Yo, I can't believe this shit.
Some new music.
They were so gassed up about our shit. They had to make us make our own music to this shit. Hello, everybody, and welcome to week 13 of fantasy football, and welcome officially to Cody's Corner. Cody's week-by-week hot takes on who's going to take the W, as well as who's getting the highest scored and the $25.
Cha-ching.
I usually would say R.I.P. to an NFL legend.
Yep.
A GOAT. Number 8.
Rest in peace, Angel.
NYJ.
Yep.
Aaron Rodgers is back.
He's back.
But as always,
rest in peace, Angel, still. Because he dropped him, so he doesn't have him. So rest in peace, Angel.
this NFL season is for him.
It's for him. Wow. He's going to come back.
He's going to come back.
He's going to make it back.
21 days until the practice.
He said he would, and he might.
I've seen all those videos online. That should be like 79 days after the injury, and he's already doing this.
Can he do it?
Look, I put on my Jets fluff ball hat today.
Yeah, if you don't know, Cody's not a fan of fluff ball hats.
I think a fluff ball hat is one of the ugliest things that someone can put on their head. And I wore mine today. My dad got it for me. Shout out my dad.
Gary!
Because my takes today are going to be just as hot as me.
The usual.
The usual.
Oh, man. All right, so before we even get started with anything, Aaron Rodgers coming back.
Right.
All right. The Jets suck.
Suck.
To put it nicely,
Suck.
they're not going to make the playoffs. They're not gonna make the playoffs.
I think
Oh my goodness.
they're most likely not going to make the
They're
playoffs.
not gonna make the playoffs.
What if this little media about Aaron Rodgers just turns the fucking engine on everybody in that squad?
Well, Zach Wilson?
No, fuck Zach
That's
Wilson.
the guy that's getting you else.
It's Tim Boyle, bro. It's the Tim
You
Boyle
can't
show.
blame Tim Boyle after what?
I'm not blaming.
1 week
I'm not
as
blaming.
a starting
I'm not
QB?
blaming. Hold up. I'm not blaming Tim Boyle. What I'm saying to you is the only person that is not going to get affected by this is Zach Wilson, because he's still sitting at third QB in the roster. Aaron comes back. He's number 4, or he's getting the boot. Who knows?
That's true.
But you know what? I got a chip on my shoulder today.
Okay.
I got a lot to talk about. I got some shit that's on my mind.
I'm here to listen.
First off, because we haven't heard from y'all since last Thursday.
Yeah.
Hope you enjoyed your Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Monday Night Football pissed me off this week,
It was
bro.
a poop show.
Let me tell you, it
sucked.
It did suck. But
Not a
this
single touchdown.
specific moment really bothered me, and I'm
Oh.
going to tell you why. Look, the truth is, you watched the game with me, right? We were together at the game.
We watched the game.
We weren't at the game. We were watching the game together.
That's right, we weren't at the game.
Correction. That whole penalty thing with Kyler Gordon, I think his name was,
Yeah.
the cornerback, number 6 from the Bears. He was coming off the field, and he takes his helmet off because his helmet had broke. I don't know if you saw that. His face mask had propped open.
Yeah.
And
Not supposed to happen.
it's not supposed to happen at all. That's a thing that's like a safety mechanism that is supposed to stop concussions and things like that, you know? So he takes his helmet off to look at his helmet. He looks over at the opposing team because he was just getting off the field. They're probably going to punt the ball. And then the refs think that it's a taunt.
Tons.
And then they give him a 15-yard penalty for it.
Wow.
He's waving his broken-ass helmet in the air like, yo, what are you talking about? This isn't a foul. This isn't a flag.
No.
That's bad calling by the ref, if you ask me.
Very bad. The refs gotta look at them and be like, you know what? My bad.
Yeah.
You gotta be understandable. Like, you make a call, you don't have to die on it.
Yeah.
You could reverse your calls.
And obviously, there's different things that the refs see that people on TV see more. We get to see the slow motion. We get to zoom in on Kyler Gordon waving his helmet in the air. The refs really are just people on the field, just like anybody else. But you got to look at that and
We have technology.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
can review this. They have the same or even better cameras than we do.
Yeah.
They could look at it.
For sure.
No problem.
The same way that they review like scoring plays and things like that.
Yeah.
It's, you know, every play is reviewed and da-da-da. Bro, they could do that with a fucking broken helmet on the field. I think they definitely should.
Could've, should've. They didn't. But how tough would it be?
Yeah.
If you scored a touchdown or get a stop and you just lift up your helmet and look someone in the eyes and be like, "Urgh."
It's like, yeah, what of it, motherfucker?
Yeah.
I'll rock your shit and my shit was broken.
And I'll leave the game.
Yeah. I don't know, man. But look, I heard that there was something also on your mind this week.
Something that I saw on Twitter, now X, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So there's this guy who does social media for the NFL but works with the Dolphins. He does it at the stadium. And Tyreek Hill caught a bomb of a touchdown, scores in the end zone.
I heard about this.
He's friends with Tyreek Hill. Like,
Right.
he's been working with him. Like,
his name is
K Fitz.
K Fitz.
K Fitz. He's in the end zone. Tyreek scores a touchdown. He sees his boy, grabs his camera, grabs the phone, and then does a backflip, records the backflip, and gives it back to him.
Right.
Cool moment.
Amazing moment.
The social media guy's hype, jumps, runs, and he sends it to the NFL.
Right.
The NFL sees this. They post it on their page.
As they should.
They liked it too.
Right.
And guess what?
What?
They fine Tyreek Hill.
Okay.
They say you should not be touching equipment and doing that.
Uh-huh.
Okay, fine. Then they take the social media guy, K Fitz, and they suspend him for the year and maybe for forever.
That's so ridiculous, bro.
And then they end up taking down the post, but like initially, like they posted it. They
No, but that's the coolest shit in the world.
Yeah.
Like, look, I'll say it and I'll say it and I'll say it. Yo, if the best receiver in the league came to me, grabbed my phone and did a backflip, I'm celebrating.
Yeah.
I'm celebrating,
How
bro.
hard?
Bro, I don't even know what I would do. I think I might do a whole lap around the field just cuz, and then I might spit on the CEO's face just because, you know what? The best player in the world just gave me the right to do so.
Yeah, he did.
I don't think anybody gets or should lose their job for that.
No,
That's
I mean,
ridiculous.
a warning, suspend him for a game, something like that. I mean, you don't have to
He suspended him for the year and then potentially
forever.
That's so
Too much.
unfortunate for K Fitz. Shout out K Fitz. We hope you figured this out, man.
NFL, the no fun league.
Yeah, the no fun league
no
for
fun
sure,
league.
for sure,
No
for
fun
sure.
league.
You know, I forgot who was saying it. I believe it was man, I think it might have been. I don't think it was Aaron Rodgers, but someone was backing up what Tom Brady was saying about mediocrity. But they were saying that some of the best players in NFL history shouldn't be considered the greatest if they were playing with today's rules, like Ray Lewis.
Yeah.
That's what people are saying. But, you know, I don't even want to get into the past. I got to talk to you about something that's going on right now.
We got another one.
Did you hear about what's going on with the Commanders?
Not really.
So I'm like 75% sure that this is accurate, but the Washington Commanders are being sued by the Native American Guardians Association because the Native American Association wants them to change the name back to the Redskins. Did you hear about this?
I didn't hear about it until you brought it up.
Bro, apparently involved in the lawsuit is a statement that says the logo on the original Redskins helmet was a representation of an actual person from Native American history called Chief Whitecalf. Every time they go out on the field, they were considered to be honoring this person from their Native American history. So now that they've taken the name away, they feel as if they've struck that part of Native American history away from public media. And now they want $1 million in return.
Wow. That's
Look, not for
quite
nothing.
the ask.
Not for nothing. I know that the whole switch out of the Redskins name was because they didn't want to profile anyone. They didn't want to make anyone seem like the name was coming from a slur, similar to what they did with the Cleveland Indians, now the Cleveland Guardians.
Yep.
It makes sense in the bigger picture, but you got to look at who you're insulting or who you're disrespecting, you know? You can't just assume an insult if they're not insulted, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I find it really interesting mostly because when the Commanders changed their name to the Commanders, they didn't want to.
Right.
They didn't want to change their name.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it was the NFL, if it was Native Americans, or if it was just other people in general that was putting the pressure on them to change it. I don't remember who it was.
Yeah.
But apparently they did not want the change.
And you could tell they didn't want the change. They struggled looking for a new name for a minute. What was it, 2 seasons that they were stuck as the Washington football team?
Football team.
That sounds like a game. That sounds like a team that you would have in like a generic video game that couldn't get the copyrights and stuff. So they just call you Washington football team. You know what I mean? And like that's not something that any franchise wants to endure for 2 years.
A whole different thing, but it shouldn't take you 2 years to name a team.
Yeah, I mean that too. But I guess it's really hard to try and satisfy a whole fan base in one shot.
They didn't do a good job.
At all.
No.
At all.
All right.
But look, let's get into some of the recaps of what happened last week, man.
Ooh,
I think we
quite the week.
Quite the week.
Yeah.
You were hot.
I was hot.
Hot like
hotter than your takes.
Hotter than how I feel with this fucking puffball hat on. Look, so I haven't told anybody. PD sees it. He sees me sweating. I'm inside wearing a puffball New York Jets hat. The truth is, shout out to my dad. He got me this hat. I'm sorry, I'm going to say it out loud. I think a puffball hat is one of the ugliest things that a man could probably wear outside of his house.
It's a hot take.
I'm not a puffball guy.
It's a hot take.
Some people love it. It's a sport thing. You know, people get the tourist ones that say New York and DC and da-da-da. That's not my thing. But you know what? I wore it today because I want my takes to be just as hot as I am. I think that's kind of fly.
We'll
and
see.
That's how we're trying to rock it. But look, let's get right into the recap of what's going on, you know? Last week, you had Devontae Smith at over 12 points.
Yeah, I did.
I took the under. It turned out you were right. He definitely had over. I think that, if I'm not mistaken, he had like 23 point something.
He had 23.6.
You know, that's like double of what he had like projected from us.
I picked the over for a reason.
Listen, it seems like you're an intelligent man. Not everyone can get to that level yet, you know. I'm sorry I couldn't satisfy. But moving right along, had CJ Stroud at the dog himself. The Houston Texan rookie at over 1.5 interceptions.
Took the over.
You took the over.
Sure.
I took the under.
Good move.
He threw up 0 interceptions. Ooh. A donut.
That's what you like to see.
A hole.
Yeah.
Round 1. I meant to say hole in one. That's all right though. We're gonna keep it rolling.
Before we do,
huh?
I know you said rookie, best rookie you've ever seen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. I think at this point in my football fandom life, I think I can confidently say that this is the best rookie I think I've ever watched myself.
I have to debate you on that.
Why is that?
Because I got my boy.
Okay.
Number 1-3.
Uh-huh.
Odell Beckham Jr. Come on,
yeah,
that rookie year,
yeah.
The one-handed catch.
Look, and this
was a dog.
He was a dog, but this is the hard thing, right? It's hard because it's one of those things you have to evaluate because you don't know how he's gonna play afterwards. You can only judge them by that rookie year. Odell's rookie year was iconic.
Yeah.
He had people. Like, you know, the same way that they were shooting basketball shots and they'd be like, Kobe.
Yeah.
People were doing that with one-hand catches. They were like, Odell, snagging that shit.
You know what else they were doing?
What?
They were getting his haircuts.
That's facts.
Odell had a haircut we never really seen before. Odell.
No.
I haven't.
People had the mohawk.
Yeah, but not the
Shout out
blonde.
to myself. I also had the mohawk.
Not the blonde mohawk. And then he caught that ball, one hand. Everybody got that haircut.
Yeah, it was a culture move.
Everyone is getting that haircut.
You know, shout out to a non-related person named Kobe. Shout out to our boy named Kobe. He had caught the perm for the haircut.
Yeah, he caught the ball and caught the perm.
Yo, you know what it is to be so fly? He's like, yo, I can't even use my own hair for this shit.
This is a guy that wears a helmet.
Yeah.
When he's playing, you don't even see his head.
That's true. You know how swaggy you gotta be to have people want your haircut and they can't even see it when you play?
Yeah. So unless CJ Stroud has people changing their hair, it's Odell for me.
I don't know. I think we'll agree to disagree on that one.
Like we usually do.
We'll move right along.
Yeah.
Tyreek Hill at under 18 points. We both took the under and we were both wrong.
Why did we take the under?
We both had a lot of faith in my New York Jets and the defense that they had.
Especially Sauce.
And where was Sauce?
Lost in the sauce.
Lost in the sauce.
Where was he?
Nowhere to be found.
No.
Getting swept up in the spaghetti like some ragu. I don't know.
He didn't stop him. Tyreek Hill put up 25 points, 9 receptions, 102 yards, and a touchdown.
That's ugly. And you know what was even worse? Did you watch the Jets game yourself?
Unfortunately.
Did you see that ball thrown over Sauce Gardner to Jalen Waddle, bro?
No.
It was embarrassing, dude. It was like he like snagged it over Sauce Gardner.
Oh, and Sauce was on him.
Sauce was on him.
I did see that.
You did see that.
Yes.
It was like 3rd and something, I think. Bro, that was so... Like, when I looked at that, and, Jalen Waddle was on my roster at the time, so I looked at that, and I was like, I want to be happy, but I'm not.
Oh, they say better offense beats better defense.
That's not what they say.
It's true.
It's
No, better offense beats better defense.
Better anything beats better anything.
If the offense is that good, you can't stop them.
I guess so. Whatever. I don't know if that's the saying, but we're just gonna take it right there. I'm just gonna go ahead and speak truthfully. It seems like my balls were swinging to the ground when I decided I thought Devin Singletary was gonna have 2 touchdowns last week.
Wow.
Can you please pull up the stats on Singletary?
I don't think you're ready for the stats.
Okay.
Played Jacksonville.
6
rushing attempts. 18 total yards.
That is so ugly, bro.
Now, he's very lucky.
Yeah.
He had 6 receptions and 54 yards.
Right.
Because that did put him at 13 points in fantasy, but
which is not bad.
It's not bad. You'll take that. But if he didn't have those catches, 18 yards.
Yeah, that's not really a lot, bro. At all, dude.
They didn't have a game at all.
And you know what? You think that we should expect this by now, right? Because we have all this hype behind C.J. Stroud and how good he is at passing the ball.
He's gonna throw the ball.
He's gonna throw the ball. Your running back doesn't really necessarily need to do so much if your quarterback is so good.
Look at the Bills.
Look at the Bills. They dropped Singletary. Singletary was on that team.
Poor Singletary.
Yo, they're like, oh, fuck it. We'll send you to a team where you run the ball, because that was before C.J. Stroud. They had Damian Price, who was going crazy. Shout out Damian Price. And they get C.J. Stroud, and now he doesn't have to do anything.
This guy's got the easiest job in the world.
I'm so glad that your head went right there. Let me ask you something.
Yeah.
As an NFL player who's getting paid millions, would you say that as a backup position, it's easier for you because you're getting paid and you don't have to put your body through the same stuff that someone has to do on game day?
I mean, it's probably easier for them. It depends the situation they want.
Right.
Maybe they want to be a starter.
Right.
But I'm sure there's plenty of people that will take sitting the bench, practicing,
right,
and racking up some money.
I gotta shout out one of my favorite sports podcasts is a podcast called Broken Play. Shout out to Broken Play.
Shout out Broken Play.
I've heard them ask this question, and I'd love to hear your answer really quick before we get to our last hot take. If you're a professional athlete, would you rather win a championship or get a really high-paid contract?
Now, if I win this championship, what's my contract?
It's not a good contract.
Is it like...
It's not bad in proportion to like a regular job. You're still getting paid like athlete money.
Maybe.
Let's say $1 million. Let's say it's $1 million.
So I'd rather
a mil and a ring,
or like
10 and no ring.
No, I want like 100.
100 mil.
I want to get paid.
Okay, so
am I getting paid, or am I just getting paid?
All right, I'm gonna throw numbers at you.
Yeah.
Let's say 1 ring, 10 mil.
Okay.
No ring, 20 mil.
I'll take the ring and the 10.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You're an athlete at heart.
10 million is I can live with 10 million.
But you know what? Like I
can live with 10 million.
I think I'm taking the money, bro.
I can live with 10. 10's fine.
I'll
make it by.
Maybe it's the jet thing. I just like green.
And you're not taking the ring, so it must be a jet thing.
Taking the money. I don't know, man. You know what? That was fucked up. We were going in 2 different directions.
Yeah, well, ended up in the same place.
This is the last hot take we had from last week. It's a good one.
It's a great one.
A great one. We had Jalen Hurts at under 2.5 tush pushes. Meaning they push him over to get the first down just right through the line. I don't think you have to explain.
Everybody's seen Hurts get his booty pushed.
Now, someone's going to be like, who's tush? So, look, it was under 2.5. I was more than confident he was going to get 5 when we made this.
No.
He only had one.
You were overly confident.
Way overly
You thought
confident.
they were going to push him 10 yards.
Yeah, I really did. I really thought that Bills Mafia was going to lock him down and make them make a move. But you know what? Not only did they only get one, Josh Allen had a tush push of
Had his
himself.
own, and it still wasn't enough.
And I tried to text you on the low, be like, hey, I saw that there was a tush push on Josh Allen's side. And you were quick to tell me. You were like, no. I don't know, man. It happens, but I'm glad that you did so well.
Thank you.
You're welcome, bro.
Yeah. Maybe one day your hot takes will land.
Hey, you know what? My hot takes are hotter than the fucking volcano in Hawaii, bro.
Woo.
But we're going to get right into it.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about our projections for last week and how they really did.
Yeah, let's see.
So, first off, can I just go down the line?
You can go down the line.
I'm going to start off Tariq and Petey. Petey didn't pick any dick for himself. I picked Petey that week. I was correct. Tariq ended up losing 91 to 110. Congratulations on the win, man.
Thank you. You know, my team played when they needed to. We were going into this game tied for 5 and 6.
Yep.
We were like, whoever wins this game.
So you're at 500.
I'm at 500. It feels nice.
Yeah.
It's been a tough road to get there, but I mean, look, we both needed a win. Whoever wins has a good chance for the playoffs. Whoever loses is not looking that good.
Right.
There's still 2 weeks left. You don't know what happens, but I think this was a must win for me, and I'm very glad I took it.
Yeah, for sure. I think you, like you said, I think you needed it. So I'm glad you got it.
Tariq, I'm sorry.
Yeah, whatever, Tariq.
Yeah.
We got Angel versus Brandon. We both had Brandon. Goes in line with our mantra, rest in peace, Dylan Angel.
Wow, man. It's hard to, almost impossible to come back from losing both your starting running backs.
Yup.
And going into a matchup where you're like, who am I going to start?
Right.
But guess what? He started Ford, started Royce Freeman. He put up 12 and 13.
Not bad for a scramble.
And guess what? The players that struggled, Adam Thielen had 1 point, Ferguson's tight end 4. If his players play like they usually do, he would have won.
Yep.
But no, they didn't.
And you know what?
He lost.
Well, we're just rubbing it in his face, why don't you?
Sorry. He lost.
You suck. No, but in the end, 104 to 120. I would say it's a close game, but you know what? It wasn't.
It wasn't that. He lost by
16-point game.
Adam Thielen usually has those.
That's a player.
Adam Thielen has those games. He put up 1.
It's unfortunate, but I don't know, man. I don't believe in Carolina anymore, bro.
I wouldn't either.
Chuba Hubbard.
Hey, something to look at. Cade Otton put up 8 points.
Fucking Cade Otton. I don't even like. I don't know. I have so much and nothing to say about this guy at the same time. Like, he had a decent game, but I'm never gonna take him serious because his name sounds like you just hit a gong, like Otton. I don't know, bro. It's just like it's beyond me at this point. But moving along, good game. This next one coming up.
Yeah.
Had Alex versus Eamon.
I chose Alex.
You chose Alex. I chose Eamon. I ended up being right, but it was a good game to watch. 135 to 148.
Wow, what
Eamon
a game!
Took that one.
I was with Alex when we were watching some of these games, and it was close.
Yeah.
McCaffrey went off the usual.
Right.
Zay Flowers had a game. But down the other side, you had Keenan Allen, who was catching, it felt like, every ball in that game.
Word.
You had Mike Evans, 25. The big difference, Miami's defense against the Jets.
Oh, I don't even want to hear it, bro.
You don't want to hear it, because they put up 23 points against the Jets. 23, MJ.
Oh, my God. You're going to give me a heart attack right here, right now, bro.
Hardest thing to look at is if Alex would have started Jordan Love, he would have won this one.
Yeah. I mean, over Justin Fields, I've said it before. I'm going to say it again. Justin Fields is an average player, bro.
Jordan Love's an average player.
Jordan Love is an average player. He had an above-average game.
It's hard to choose between those twos every week.
Yeah, it really is.
That's tough.
That's really just like a luck of the draw kind of thing. Justin Fields had that record-breaking season last season. He was breaking all this news, and people were all excited about him going into this year, but he just hasn't showed it. It's the latter end of the season. He's not that guy. He's not the guy.
You're not that guy, pal. You're not that guy.
I don't know, man, but it is what it is. This is another ugly one. You got me against Joey. I didn't pick for myself, but you had me winning. Unfortunately, you were incorrect.
Boy, did I regret that one.
Oh, man. Boy, was that an ugly game. I lost 91.96 to 140.04.
Wow. I'm looking at it. Your best player is somebody unfortunately traded away. Waddle with 19.
Yeah, but I'm not worried, bro.
I would be very worried.
You
He
know,
had Dak 32.
32.
Smith, 23, as we know. And I want you to take a look. He had this boy, Freiermuth, on the bench.
Yo.
21 points.
Listen, I think the more and more we say names that are complicated to say, it's just going to make my blood boil a little bit more.
Freiermuth.
Freiermuth. Like, I don't know, man.
That name would have went hard in like the 1900s.
He sounds like the cat from Alice in Wonderland that floats around and shit. I'm Freiermuth.
Yeah, go to the bar, you order a little Freiermuth.
Oh.
Yeah, a little Freiermuth.
Like a little IPA?
No, a little Freiermuth, a little cocktail.
Oh, it's a mixed drink.
Yeah, it's a mixed drink.
Okay,
It's got some cranberry, maybe.
Oh.
Yeah. It's got some vermouth.
Oh, little vermouth for the Freiermuth?
There you go.
All right, honest question.
Yeah.
What the hell is vermouth?
Could not. I think it's Italian.
Yeah.
Can't tell you exactly what it is.
Can't
I've seen
say.
it. I'm sure this won't be the last time we talk about Freiermuth this podcast.
I hope so.
It won't be.
So, going forward, this was the best game of the week for sure. Like, hands down, this was the one for us to look at. We had Alop against Anthony.
I had Anthony.
You had Anthony. I had Alop try to get the underdog story. This was a close game.
What did I say then? What doesn't Alop do when it comes to crunch time?
He doesn't
He
win.
doesn't win.
But you know what? He lost in fashion. He dropped 150
Wow, would I
to
be upset?
lose. You know, he would have beat anybody else in fantasy this week except for Anthony Bars.
That's annoying.
Yeah.
He would have beat Eamon.
I'd be punching the air right now if I was Alop.
Sure he is.
Thank God he's not in the
He's
group
somewhere in
chat.
Texas right now, punching the air.
He lives in
He
Texas.
lives in Texas.
Does he really?
Yeah, Austin, I believe.
You know who I hope he's rooting for? The dog, C.J. Stroud.
Well, he's a Ravens fan.
He's a Ravens fan
Ravens
living in Texas?
Grew up in Jersey.
Grew up in Jersey, fan of Baltimore, was like, you know what's the place for me? Texas! All right, I think Alop, no wonder he keeps losing.
All right, Alop keeps losing. There's no secret. He can do all he wants. The other person's gonna do better. That's all I gotta say.
That's just rude.
Sorry.
But moving right along, last game on the list, but certainly not the least.
Nope.
We got Dylan against Colby. You had Colby, I had Dylan. It ended up being Colby.
Yeah, Kobe
A
won.
close one though, 105 to 118. Not as close as Alop versus Anthony, but definitely still like, I don't know. Like, it was nice to look at, but Colby being in first place, this game didn't excite me, bro.
It could have been a lot more exciting because I just noticed on his IR he had Kyron Williams. Still in his IR slot. Never started him. 38 points.
That's insane.
Just in his
Just
in
sitting
the hospital.
pretty. Oh my god.
38 points. Dylan Hohen, of course, played me last week, put up like 140, but decided to take this week a little bit more off.
Oh, man.
Puts up 105. Barkley didn't do much.
You
Gus
got to
the
be
bus.
mad at that, right?
I am so upset.
Because, you know, like when someone plays
upset.
you hope that they play their worst, and then you
Yeah.
see what their worst is, and you think to yourself, that could have been me.
That could have been me.
I could have caught that W
I
off.
could have beat 105.
That's true. That's
But
true.
you know what? Kobe wins. He's looking good at the number 1 seed.
Yeah, but you know what? Welcome to this week.
Welcome to this week.
We're looking good. Let's see what's going on with everybody here.
Woo.
You know, first off, you know, let's just go in order.
Yeah.
We went down the line for this last week's matchup. Let's go down the line for this week's
Okay,
matchup.
let's do it.
We'll switch it up a little bit.
All right.
We got Anthony Barge at 7 and 5, excuse me, and you got me at 5 and 7. Projected at 47% for him, 53% for me, but it's looking a little disrespectful.
I would feel so much disrespect at the fact that he does not have a QB starting
Right.
or a defense,
Right.
but mostly not a QB.
You know, I want to point out it's 8:56 p.m. Eastern Standard Time over here, so where we're at, the game did already start.
Did already start.
You got Dallas losing to Seattle 7-10 already.
Wow.
I did not expect that.
Wow, that's fast.
Yeah, that's really insane. After this, I would love to find out who scored, but I guess we're gonna see it down the line.
We'll see it when we get there.
We got Tyler Lockett on Anthony Barge's team with 3.3, and then we got Brandon Aubrey, which is Dallas's kicker, at 4 points already. 1 out of 1 for a field goal attempt.
Speaking of kickers, can I say something?
Yeah, sure.
Anthony Barge needs to drop his kicker
Okay.
and just pick up a QB.
Yeah, Ed Petey has so thankfully pointed out to me previously that he has the number 1 kicker in the league and the number 2 kicker in the league.
Just drop one. You need a QB this week.
Yeah.
You're gonna lose, maybe. I don't know. I don't know how much you trust your team, but it's very disrespectful to not start a QB and maybe win.
You want me to be honest with you?
I will.
I don't trust my team this week. I don't. And it's really hard for me because everybody knows I've posted it on Facebook. All 5 of my friends have seen it. I'm a big Brock Purdy fan.
Brock the Rock.
I've always been a Brock Purdy fan.
You have.
And I've said this before, I'll say it again. The 49ers are what, 8-3?
8-3.
8-3. Brock Purdy was 5-0 going into the end of last season.
Yep.
That means that in his NFL career as a 49er, he's 13-3.
That's pretty good.
That's great. What do you mean pretty good? He only lost 3 times.
Pretty good.
That's crazy.
That is insane.
People fell off the wagon. I'm wagoning.
We can't pretend like we don't know the team he has around him.
Of course.
He's got a top 3 defense.
Yeah.
He's got the best running back in the league.
Yeah.
He's got Debo and Brandon Ayuk.
But you know what? I'm not looking for a star. I'm looking for somebody that's going to get the job done. And you know what? He gets the job done. The only 3 games that he didn't get the job done, a lot of his skill players were out. Those were the couple games that McCaffrey had like an injury and Debo was injured at the same time. And you know what? Even though they're really good players on the team, I think that in any team, if 2 of my stars were injured, I'm probably losing.
Yeah.
You know, and like that's pretty reasonable, I think, from me or from anybody.
It makes sense.
You know, as much of a fan as I am of Brock Purdy, I really don't see him doing much this game. He's going against Philly. I think that if anybody could beat Philly and beat them out well, it's gonna be the 49ers, but I don't think it's going to be because of Brock Purdy's performance. I think it's going to be because of the skill players' performance. I think skill players have the potential to go absolutely ridiculous and finally be the one to finally bring Philly to their knees.
Well, hopefully they can get the job done. In terms of this game, if and only if Anthony Barr decides he wants to hold on to his kicker for whatever reason,
right,
and not pick up a QB,
right,
I'm going to pick you to win. But if he picks up a QB,
which he should,
I'll pick Anthony to win this week.
Yeah, but what are his real options right now at QB? Because the trade deadline is passed.
The options aren't great. He's got Derek Carr.
Okay, ew.
He's got Jake Browning.
Double ew.
And he's got, wait for it,
okay,
Kenny Pickett.
Kenny Pickett is a walking garbage can. I think I love every statistic that I've seen online about like his stats against Tommy DeVito.
Yeah.
Shout out Tommy DeVito.
Shout out.
Fun fact, actually played the guy in high school. And
Tommy Cutlets.
He was a dog, man.
Yeah.
And ever since Tommy DeVito has been gotten a little bit of hype behind him, I like that people like are talking about New Jersey, not for nothing.
Jersey.
Like when the Jets and the Giants would play, they'd be like, "Oh, welcome to the greater New York area," but now it's "Welcome to East Rutherford."
Woo.
You know what I mean?
They do
like,
say that.
They do, and it's because they got a little pride in New Jersey. Give us a team, bro. Listen,
don't give us the Jets.
I will take them.
Don't give us the Jets.
Tell me New Jersey Jets doesn't have a fire little ring to it.
It has a fire ring to it until you remember the product on the field is not a good one.
You can worry about your product on the field. How about that?
I will. Tommy Cutlets.
Look, man, I got Kyler Murray playing against Pittsburgh's defense. To be honest, that might have to be a game-time decision. I don't know if I'm going to start Kyler Murray because Pittsburgh's defense is scary. You got TJ Watt to worry about just coming off an injury, Kyler Murray. He's going to have the chance to run around, yeah, but can he make it around this monster of a defensive end?
Yeah, what would you do if you're a QB in Pittsburgh?
If I was a QB in Pittsburgh, I think I might retire.
Wow. It's kind of drastic.
Hey, man, that's why I'm not on the field. Because I'm not the one that's supposed to be making these important decisions, you know? That's why they got me behind the microphone, I guess. But going forward, I don't think that Singletary is going to offer me the same level of confidence that I had for him last week. They're going against Denver. The Broncos aren't a defense to be trifled with, you know. I think Tyreek Hill is going against Washington, which is not a really crazy secondary. He potentially could have a field day. And I think that we're doing well. And the end of the day, there's a lot of injuries on here, but it's pretty even if he doesn't start a QB and a DST. I don't think he's gonna do that. I got him in this game.
All right. Well, we'll see. We'll come back to that next week.
All right, for sure. Next up, ooh.
Whoa.
All right, live. We got
Wow.
CeeDee Lamb with a touchdown already on Brandon Barge's team. 5 catches, 66 yards, 1 touchdown.
Holy
at
shit.
18.2 with 12:16 left in the second quarter. He's balling already.
I'm not gonna let this blind me,
Right.
because I'm not.
Right.
Because not forget, he's playing Amon this week.
Yup.
CeeDee Lamb,
Yup.
that's kind of incredible, but he's doing CeeDee Lamb things.
Yup.
I'm not gonna let that, distract me. He's playing Amon.
Right.
Amon still has his whole team to play.
Yeah.
He's got Keenan Allen, he's got Kamara, he's got Mahomes, he's got Kelsey, he's got Evans, he's got Brandon Ayuk. There's no shortage on this team. He's got 3 bye weeks, all on his bench. Players he does not even play.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not even affecting him.
I agree. And I don't think before this game I would have seen Brandon Barge going anywhere. But right now, he's only projected to have less points by Amon by only 10 points. Brandon is projected 125, where Amon is projected 135.
It is going to be a close game.
It's going to be a closer game than anticipated. Etienne has kind of been on like a decline, but Alvin Kamara is nowhere to be lost. I think Keenan Allen going against New England's defense, yeah, they don't win games, but New England is known to have a good defense. You got Mike Evans going against Carolina. I don't think I'm not worried about any team that goes against Carolina. I don't think Carolina's anything to worry about. And then you got Cade Otong, my boy. Something to worry about,
See something to worry about? In a good way, or?
I gotta look at his stats. Honestly, I like making fun of his name more than I actually look at his statistics. He's not a great player, bro. He's not,
He
bro.
is the definition of average.
Yeah, bro. He had his last crazy game was 23 points in week 9, and ever since then it's been 3, 8, and 8. It's not
Alright.
really anything that I worry about.
Let's start with our first hot take.
Let's hear it.
Does Alton have over or under 8.5 points this week?
8.5
8.5.
against Carolina, over.
Over.
I'm gonna say over.
You're trusting Alton.
I am trusting.
Wow.
I'm trusting Otong.
Wow.
And then when he scores, I'm gonna be like Otong.
We should buy a gong.
Whenever he scores.
Just have it on the podcast.
Ooh.
Bong.
Ooh, like a real one?
I think we should do that.
That'd be sick.
Alright, then we have to look into that.
And we'll put the logo on it.
We'll put his face on it.
Ooh. The Otongong.
Alton gong.
That's pretty hard.
You're taking the over. I'm just going to have to take the under. I'm going to have to go against you on that one.
All right, fine. Besides that, it's a great game. You already know the Amon's team is a monster. Pat Mahomes, Travis Kelsey. I see Brandon Ayuk having a monster of a game. He's a monster, bro. And I've always had faith in him. And like I said, I think the skill players in Philly against Philly and San Francisco are going to go crazy. So I got Amon this week.
Just when he thought his team couldn't get better, it got better. Brandon's also a good start. He's almost got 20 points from CeeDee Lamb just through 1 quarter. But I'm still going to have to take Amon.
Yeah.
Amon's team, I can't pick against him.
Right.
Brandon needs a win this week. So hopefully he does win it out, but I think Amon's got it.
Yeah. Sorry, Brandon.
Sorry, Brandon. Actually, before we continue, I want to tell you this little story about Brandon.
Okay, let's hear it.
So we were hanging out, all of us.
Yo.
I forget how it's brought up, but I think Alex mentioned it. But he said that Brandon thinks he could take an NFL player in a fight. I don't know if it was a fight, but he says if he had to arrest one, he could take him
he's
down.
out of his mind.
You think
He's out of his fucking mind. These people are trained to hit people at full speed every day, multiple times, in and out of a play, in and out of a huddle. I think I can go upstairs to my sister in her room, 17 years old. I think that she could take Brandon Barge on one-on-one. That's ridiculous. What does that even mean, bro? Take on an NFL player.
I said he couldn't take on a kicker.
He can't take on the fucking snapper, bro. The guy holding the PAT, he can't even do that, bro. Get the fuck out of here. I don't know, man. Yo, he's out of his fucking mind. And so I'm just going to disregard that because I know it's just going to make my blood boil. We're going to move right on to this game if that's all right with you.
That's all right by me.
We got Dak Prescott with 2 passing touchdowns already with 11:37 going into the second. He already has 14.22, man. And then on the other side of the ball, you got Dylan Angel at 4-8. Joey has Dak Prescott. He's 7-5. The projection is Joey right now at 56% win rate, and then Dylan Angel at a 44% win rate. It's not looking too good for Dylan Angel, I'm not gonna lie. His tight end Ferguson, the guy you were talking about, he only has 2.7.
Only Didn't have a good week last week either.
Yeah, and that's not saying he's not going to have a good game because it seems like the Cowboys are off to a flying start. So, hey, fuck it. Maybe everybody might get the ball.
He's not flying.
But at the same time, like, you just got to really think about it and, like, go down the line. I think that's something realistic for you to anticipate going forward.
Yeah, I think Joey having Dak going off right now is really going to help him. He's got Gibbs. He's got Pacheco.
He picked up Zach Moss.
He has Jamar Chase. I do not trust him.
Yeah.
I will get into that later.
Yeah.
Don't trust him right now. Picked up Zach Moss. That's a huge pickup.
Huge.
I mean, Jonathan Taylor was doing great. Unfortunately, I lost him. I'm going to miss him. Hoping he comes back before the playoffs or at least week 1.
We're going to have to start doing the thing we did about Aaron Rodgers' speedy recovery. Do about Jonathan Taylor.
Maybe if you do that, he'll be back by Sunday. I hope so.
Maybe if he starts hanging out with Aaron Rodgers, take a little ayahuasca, do what he's got to do, he'll be back in 3 days.
Do whatever he wants as long as he plays for me. His boy and tight end, Freiermuth. He's back.
This is the second Freiermuth reference that we've had in one episode, and you know what? I don't like it.
Maybe the last.
You know what? He seems like he did decent last game, right? He had 21. This is not anything that anyone expected from anywhere. The last time he played before his injury was week 4. He dropped 3.7 points. And then he didn't play from week 4 all the way until week 11, where he dropped 1 point. And then last week he drops 21. So the sky's the limit, but I don't see him repeating that.
Something else to look at: the yards per game: 3, 2, 41, 7, 7, 120 yards last game.
Yeah, he
had more than double. He's had the whole season in one game.
So let me ask you this: I got a hot take of myself.
Yeah.
Do you see Freiermuth having over 15 points?
Well, let me tell you, in this matchup, I see a lot of Qs.
Right.
I see a lot of red Qs on a lot of players.
Yep.
There's only one Q I gotta answer.
Okay.
Freiermuth is hitting the over.
No way.
And Joey is winning this week.
Look, I'm gonna say under, and I'm gonna tell you exactly why. I don't trust Kenny Pickett.
Well, look, they have this new coach.
Right.
He's designing these plays to throw the ball up the middle a little more.
Right.
And who's up the middle now?
Freiermuth.
That boy Freiermuth.
And Deontay Johnson.
But Freiermuth. Deontay Johnson doesn't even want to play anymore.
I think you just like saying Freiermuth.
He doesn't want to play anymore. He's giving up on the team.
And his first name is Pat.
Boy, Pat. He looks like the guy from Stranger Things.
You know, his parents were like, oh my God. He's going to have such a hard time writing all that in the Scantron if he had a long first name. Let's just call him Pat. Let's just call him Pat.
Not even Patrick.
Yeah, they couldn't even they couldn't even make it to Patrick. They were like, Pat Freiermuth.
Yeah, Pat Freiermuth.
I don't know. The truth is that I really see Jerome excuse me.
Caught.
I really see Jerome Ford having a great game. I really see him exploding. I think the Rams aren't any rushing defense to worry about, so I think it's going to be pretty even. But I think this Jake Ferguson really takes Dylan Angel out of the milks right now. Unless he gets back in. I said milks instead of mix. But that's okay, you know.
Is Ferguson drinking milk?
Yo, he's drinking milk. Freiermuth is down the middle. There's just a lot of complicated words and to count my tongue silly. But at the end of the day, you know, I think there's a lot of dogs. I would have had Dylan Angel winning if I didn't see this 2 points from Ferguson, but I'm going to have to go with Joey on this one.
I got Joey too. That boy Freiermuth's dropping at least 12.
All right, coming up. This is your team, man.
Oh, man.
This is your squad.
Oh, God.
This is an important game for Alex also.
It's an important game for both of us.
Yeah.
Like, maybe a little more on his end. He really needs to win to maybe get a playoff spot. I'm even. I can drop this game, but next week I'm playing Eamon.
Right.
I don't want to drop. I'd rather win this game and then just take my loss to Eamon and have my luck in the playoffs.
Is Eamon scare you that much?
Eamon dropped 200 on me already this year.
That's true.
I don't need to see
that. Is very true. I completely forgot about that. That is off the record. Before the podcast started, he definitely dropped 200 on PD. Week 2 was that?
It was like week 2.
Week 2 or week 3?
It was week 3.
That was ugly.
Yeah, I put up 120 that week.
Yeah.
Pretty good
Not
game.
a bad game in fantasy wise. He just had
most games like
a
that.
monstrous game.
I don't have Jonathan Taylor. I'm banking off HN. I I need him to be him.
Yo.
The guy that we saw earlier in the season.
Right.
Not having Taylor is gonna be such a hard thing.
Yo.
Achane just needs those 5 rushes, 1 touchdown, like 80 yards somehow.
Here's the thing, though.
Yeah.
You gotta be nervous when you're talking about Achane. Achane.
I think it's Achane.
Achane.
You know.
Achane.
Whatever I said the first time.
Whatever, bro.
Achane. It's
This
Achane.
guy, I think that you gotta be nervous because the game that he came back, he got hurt that same game. There's no consistency in his health. And it doesn't mean that he's not gonna come back and be great. It means there's question marks.
I would be lying if I said I wasn't nervous, but I
Yup.
have no other person to start.
Yup.
So it's got to be him. I need him to be him.
Yup.
And I need Pittman to do his thing. I need Jalen Reed to continue what he's been doing. I need Cooper Kupp to play like a first-round pick.
Look, this is what I'm gonna say to you as far as that goes.
Yeah.
On the other side of the ball, you got McCaffrey, Garrett Wilson, Terry McLaurin, Evan Ingram, Joe Mixon, the Jets defense, Jordan Love. There's a lot of needs on your team. You need Achane to stay healthy. You need Cooper Kupp to win this game. You need Jaden Reed to play the same thing he's playing. You need all these things, and I think you're just sounding a little needy.
Oh, I'm needy right now.
I think that right now you're looking for something picture perfect, and life isn't perfect. I got the Jets really blocking down Bijan Robinson, and I got Joe Mixon having another great game. So I don't know, man. I think I gotta go with Alex on this one, bro.
Look, on the topic of Joe Mixon, I'm gonna bring you another hot take.
Okay.
I don't trust Browning.
Rightfully so.
I don't trust that offense right now.
Okay.
Do you think any offensive player, I'm just going to be including Mixon, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins,
Okay.
over under 14 points?
I see. I got Joe Mixon over 14.
Yeah, Joe Mixon over 14?
For sure.
I'm going to take all 3 of them under.
All 3 of them.
All
under.
3 of them under 14.
That's super hot.
It
You
is.
want to talk about a hot take?
I'm taking a page out of your book this week.
I got Joe Mixon going over, and I'm going to leave it right there. I have no idea what the skill players are going to do as far as receiver-wise, but over 14 for me from Joe Mixon.
All right, I'm taking the under.
You pleading the 5th?
I am not saying anything about this matchup.
All right. Next one up, we got Colby at 9-3 against Tariq at 5-7. Look, like we said, this game already started, so Tariq already has Geno Smith and Tony Pollard playing. Geno Smith, there's 8 minutes left in the second, and Geno only has 9 points.
It's not bad.
It's not great. That means he's
On
on
pace for 20.
On pace for 18.
It's not over yet.
I
He still
guess
has the ball.
9.76, whatever.
I'm rounding
And
up.
then you got Tony Pollard with only
A bum.
with only 14 yards and 5.1 points.
You know how I feel about Pollard.
Oh, you must have gave him away for a reason, I guess.
Yeah. Bum.
It's one of those games. You got number 1 going against Tariq with a K. With a K specifically.
Not a Q.
Shout out Tariq. He had made sure that I know it's with a K. It's not a Q.
No.
This isn't power.
No.
50 Cent didn't call us. It's Tariq with a K. It's hard for him this week. You got Nico Collins. This is CJ Stroud's only fully healthy receiver. You got Tank Dell with a Q. You got Dalton Schultz with a Q. You got Noah Brown with a Q. So then Nico Collins becomes CJ Stroud's go-to guy, and it becomes hard. A.J. Brown against San Francisco's defense is also rough on Colby's side, and everybody in the world is screaming, "Get Justin Herbert out of L.A."
Wow, man. It's bad over there.
That's what people are saying. I don't know,
Wow.
man. But he has newly acquired Jalen Waddle going against Washington because I just gave him that.
And he's going to ball.
I don't know, man. This is a close one, but I also don't really expect a lot from Justin Herbert either. I've never been a big Derrick Henry fan myself. I mean, not never, because he was really nice at one point, but I don't see any longevity as far as that goes. I don't think he's going to be one of the greatest. He has Brandon Cooks on his bench with 10 already. Someone else I gave up.
You're welcome.
Yeah, man. So when it comes down to it, this is really hard. You got a lot of picture-perfect things kind of looking like it was your team. I got Colby in this one, bro.
I mean, I think this one's a very easy choice for me.
Yep.
I mean, he's got Kyron Williams coming off a 38-point game.
For sure.
First game back.
Out of the IR.
Out of the IR. He's going against Cleveland.
Uh-huh.
So it's not
easy.
It's not Arizona.
No.
Not by any means. I still think A.J. Brown's going to have a good game. Waddle's, what better is being a receiver against Washington?
Yeah, man.
Especially, like, you're not even number one. You're just
Yeah.
number 2 receiver. You just got to ball. That's it.
Well, I just took his tight end from him. He had Njoku, but now he has to start Logan Thomas. That is on Washington against Miami.
He's no Freiermuth. He's no Freiermuth.
Bro, Freiermuth is nothing to be excited about, bro.
That's what you think.
One 20-point game in 13 weeks is mediocre.
I'm excited.
You're ridiculous.
I'm excited.
Who you said you got on this one?
I got Kobe. I'm praying on Tariq's downfall. I'm going to continue doing that until
Yeah.
he's out of the playoffs.
All right. Sorry, Tariq with a K.
Sorry, Tariq.
Last, but not least? Question mark?
I don't know what to expect.
You got Dylan Houghton at 8-4, but you got Alop at 3-9. Like we said, we're watching this live. We knew somebody scored. DK Metcalf already with 2 catches, 107 yards, and 1 touchdown.
Whoa.
With 7:44 going into the second half at 18.7 points already.
107 yards on 2 catches.
Yeah.
Whoa.
It might have been, if I were to guess money.
You think it's a 50-50 or like
no,
an 80?
I think it's a 1 catch and then a field day on the next one.
like an 80-yard touchdown.
Like he might have caught 1 for 20 and then 1 for 80. You know what I mean?
That very possible. Dylan, like we said, put up not such a good game last week.
Yup.
We expect more from his team. I
The
don't
scariest team in the NFL. Not in the NFL.
In the-
forgive me. In the fantasy
No,
league.
I don't agree.
You don't
I,
think
th-
so?
I think Amon scares me.
You know what?
The 2 running Najee Harris and AJ Dillon don't scare me this week.
Yup.
I mean, he usually does have Saquon and someone else down by.
Yup.
Gus Edwards, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't scare me as much as it usually does this week. But he's got Young Hoku.
I don't know, man.
You know what I think about the coup, man.
Yeah, I know how you feel about the coup. But you know what? This is something I really want to say.
Yeah.
I am such a firm believer of San Francisco's defense, and it's not just because they're on my fantasy roster. And I think that if any team has the capability defensively to lock up Jalen Hurts and stop him from being him, I think that it's San Francisco's D-line, bro. I think Chase Young and I think Nick Bosa are a force to be reckoned with. They went to college together. This chemistry is obviously there. They're making the moves. They're not going to let Jalen Hurts move out of the pocket. He's going to have to pass quickly. It's not necessarily always his thing. Can Jason Kelsey save him out of this one?
No.
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 Bad game from Jalen Hurts?
I don't think it's going to be a great game.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Give you a hot take of my own.
Okay.
I say he drops under 18.
Under 18? I'm going to say over. I'm going
Over
to say
18?
barely over.
Barely over?
Yeah, somewhere between 18 and 22.
All right, we'll take that. We'll take that. I think Christian Kirk has a great game.
We'll see.
Amazing game. I think that he just seems like once in a while he pops out to be Trevor Lawrence's guy, and I think that this is another chance for him to explode. Cincinnati has a decent passing defense, but other than that,
Kirk's been very reliable for the past 2 seasons.
Yep.
Alop has Olave for Q. Has a concussion. You know about concussions.
Right.
He's been there, done that multiple times.
Yeah, for sure. For anyone that doesn't know at home, I played the game myself. I ended up coming out of it with 3 concussions. So
Strike out of concussions.
nothing professional, nothing at the collegiate level. I was just playing in high school, but 3 in high school was enough for me, and that's why they don't have me on the field. That's why they got me behind the mic, you know.
They don't even have the field on the school anymore.
Oh, come on. Listen, that was the second jab at my school. I let you have the first one.
I don't think the first one made the final cut.
Well, listen, this one is not going to make anything.
All right, well, Alop has no DJ Moore on a bye. Olave might not play because of injury. I'm going to take Dylan mostly because Alop just doesn't win.
Yeah.
He doesn't.
You know, I'm going to go ahead and say that everyone has given up on Alop, but he hasn't given up on himself.
And I respect that.
And it shows in the 150 that he put up. I'm just going to go against you for the hell of it. I got Alop in this one.
He might have given up. He doesn't put a receiver in for the guy that has a bye.
Well, you know what? I'm not going to just judge a book by its cover. How about that?
Well,
I think he has heart. I don't know where it's at, but I think he has it somewhere.
I'm going to judge the 3-9 record and say he's going to lose again.
I don't know, man. Let's see. But I think it's something exciting is coming up right now, right?
We got a new segment.
We got a new segment on
If
here.
you want to turn it over,
Woo!
we got the boom bust of the week.
Boom and bust.
Boom, 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 boom. All right, so how it's gonna work? Every week we're gonna swap. So this week I'm gonna pick 3 players who I believe are gonna bust.
Yep.
because he's going to pick 3 players he thinks are going to boom.
Yep.
And we're going to come back to it next week. We're going to see who was a little more accurate. But we're gonna test it out, see how it works out.
I like it.
If you want to start us out with your first boom.
Yeah, I'll start us out. I think I just mentioned it, but look, Christian Kirk against Cincinnati. You know, I really believe in Trevor Lawrence. Shout out to Trevor Lawrence. I think that he's an animal. You know, he's had a great couple last games.
The next best thing since sliced bread, some might say.
Some might say. Look, I got to tell a little story right now about my dad. This is a true story. The year that Trevor Lawrence got drafted from college to Jacksonville, there was all that hype behind him because he was so good at Clemson. He was amazing. And my dad came to me and he said, Papo, I think that Trevor Lawrence is going to be better than Pat Mahomes.
And when did he say this?
He said this maybe when he got drafted. So this might have been 2019-ish. Don't quote me.
What was Pat Mahomes doing
Listen,
at that
bro,
time?
at that year, Pat Mahomes was probably either in it or he was just won the Super Bowl. So I don't really see how he got all that energy behind him to be like, the Super Bowl contender? He's better than that guy. Don't know where it came from.
He said it, though, with his chest.
He said it with his chest.
He said it.
You were there.
I was there.
I don't know, man. This guy's fucking out of his mind.
I have a Christian Kirk.
Christian Kirk. He's projected over 13.5. I think he gets at least 15.
All right.
That's my projection. Tell us your first bust.
My first bust of the week.
Oh.
Jamar Chase on the Bengals.
Interesting.
I have to bring this up. Last week he had 4 catches.
Okay.
Not a lot.
Nah.
He had 14 points.
Right.
2 of those catches were off a deflection. The pass wasn't going to him.
Oh, wow.
It was going to someone else, got deflected, he got lucky, caught the ball.
Now, do you say that that's because of extra skill level at his end to make a play out of nothing?
Yes.
Or is that luck?
No. A little bit of both. He's a very skilled receiver. But at the end of the day, you need your quarterback to have his quarterback. Right?
You need your quarterback to have his quarterback. I hear you.
He doesn't have Burrow throwing him anymore. He's got Browning.
Yeah. It just sounds shitty.
Browning. I don't trust him that much. I don't think Jamar Chase is going to have Jamar Chase games. I think his floor has gone a lot lower. His ceiling is about 20. I don't think he's going to put up more than 20 this whole season.
Wow.
You
got to take for the whole rest of the season?
I do. Not putting up more than 20 the rest of the season. He's projected 15.4. I'm going to take the heavy under on that.
Wow.
Bust.
Wow. Good one. Well, I got a boom to come back on that one.
Boom.
Boom number 2. I got Jerome Ford against the Rams. Someone else that I mentioned earlier, and I believe in it, you know?
Do.
Statistically, a freak. He had exactly 11.9 the last 3 weeks in a row.
Wow.
Very odd to see from any player, let alone a running back. He's going against the Rams. Statistically, they're ranked the 25th out of 32 rushing defenses in the NFL. Nothing for Jerome Ford to be worried about. And like you already said, there's a lot of question marks on the Browns' offense. So then that just shows that this quarterback that they have now, or whoever it's going to be.
Well, it's not going to be Johnson Robinson. It might not be him.
But that guy's favorite receiver was Njoku.
Yeah.
Other than that, it's a running game out there, bro. And I think this is a really good chance for Jerome Ford to flourish. He's projected 12.1, understandably, given he dropped basically 12 the last 3 weeks. But I got him hitting at least 16.
Well, he's put up 11.9 3 weeks in a row. You obviously don't want him to do that again because it's not a boom.
Right.
So you think he's going to do more.
Right. It wouldn't be a boom because if he drops 11.9, he's projected 12.1. So
not really a bust, but just kind of hitting what
he wouldn't hit it, though.
He wouldn't.
Technically, he wouldn't hit it.
He wouldn't hit it.
So we'll see, man.
All right. Well,
on the other side of the ball.
Yeah. Second bust, Puka Nacua.
Mm.
Puka is going to bust in Cleveland.
On Cleveland?
Cleveland's going to bust on him. Stafford has not been looking great this season.
Yup.
Kyron Williams is back and balled out. I think they're going to try to run the ball. I don't know how well it's going to work against Cleveland. This is also a great defense. Stafford's going to be under pressure a lot.
Oh, yeah.
It might just be a lot of throws to the side, to next to him.
Yep.
Cooper Kupp is still there. He's still Cooper Kupp.
Right.
They're like him and Stafford. They're not looking good, but they could find it. Let's not forget what they had 2 years ago.
And let's not forget, Higbee had a good game last week.
Higbee had 2 touchdowns.
So maybe they're trying to turn the tides with different players than they had expected. You can't really expect the rookie to do it every time, all the time.
I hope they don't throw it to Higbee again.
Unless he's C.J. Stroud.
I hope they don't throw it to Higbee again.
We'll see.
I hope Cooper Kupp gets the ball. He's still the number 1. Puka's the number 2. Against a tough defense, with Stafford not playing well, I'm going to say he busts this week.
I think that's a good assumption.
Thank you.
Very good assumption.
Thank you.
Now, I got my last boom for you.
Let's see it.
Mentioned it before also. Brandon Ayuk going against Philly, projected 15.5.
Surprise, surprise, a player on Naaman's team.
Yeah, that's another thing. I think we said this once before, but like sometimes if it wasn't on Amon's team, you wouldn't expect him to do a lot. But since he is on Amon's team, you expect him to go crazy.
Amon's receiver 3, by the way.
He's expected to drop a projected 15.5. I'm going to go ahead and make it even hotter.
Yeah?
I'm going to say that he drops at least 20.
You're doubling down.
I'm doubling. I'm thinking that he is the go-to guy. Debo's coming off an injury. McCaffrey's coming back, but that's not how you got to play against Philadelphia.
So this is your boom pick.
This is my boom pow pick of the week.
Yeah.
No black eyed peas.
Okay, we're not sponsored yet. Anything else you want to say about him?
Honestly, I just think he's a dog, bro. I always like Brandon Ayuk.
Rough. All right. My last bust of the week. It wouldn't be a bust choice if we didn't have this guy in here.
It's true.
Calvin Ridley. People quickly forget how much he's been busting all over the league this year.
Honestly, he's busting left and right. So
It's a lot. Yeah. Now look, he's had 2 great games back to back. If this was beer pong, he'd be heating up.
If he called it.
Yeah. He's going for fire.
All right.
I don't think he called it. I don't think he's gonna hit it. He's not dropping that again. He's been inconsistent.
Yup.
He's not getting 13. He might get 13. He's not gonna boom.
Yeah. This is my whole thing, and it goes in ties with my boom for Christian Kirk. If I think Christian Kirk is gonna go crazy, I definitely agree with you and say Calvin Ridley is gonna be the softer end of that stick.
Yeah.
He's not like both of them can't go crazy.
Yeah.
So now you got to see one do well, and the other one has to just wait till next week. There's nothing wrong with that.
I think it's also entirely possible they get 2 quick touchdowns, and it becomes the Indian show.
Yeah.
They're playing against Cincinnati.
Yeah, let the clock roll out.
If that offense isn't playing well, they're just gonna let's run the ball.
Absolutely, I agree with you 100%.
Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see how that turns out.
Hey, well, thanks for listening to our new segment. Thanks for listening to Cody's Corner, and we hope we talk to you next week.
All right. I'll see ya.
I'll see ya.